Look at me, baby. Look at me. Don't I look like a million? I'm about to clean out the safe. Don't I look like somebody that just be bodying everything? All that talking is great, but I don't be talking. I air it out. All the problems have gotten easy to bury. I'd rather kiss on my... I've been broke away longer than I've been rich, so until it levels out, I'ma take mama to the Marriott and took me so long to get it, gonna spread it out. Let them know all about me when I'm dead and gone. One in the hand, one in the bag, one in the hand, one in the bag, look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Miami Dolphins.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Houston Texans and the Miami Dolphins. Fielded about a yard deep. Oh, look at that. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and these creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Watson now to throw. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And he's got this down to the 35. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations. But a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Out of the gun, Watson. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And now out comes Houston. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 43. From the gun, here's Watson. Got some real estate inside the 30. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. These are his numbers from last week's contest. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed him the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Watson. This will be caught at about the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Him over. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Texans touchdown. Deshaun Watson, a 4-yard touchdown scamper. And the Texans are in for 6. And maybe the defense caught a little by surprise there that he took off and got in?
Yeah, I would think so, because if you're analyzing it from that side of the ball, you're thinking, Running back, fullback. Takes you a while before you get to the quarterback.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 10-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So now here come the Dolphins. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team scout.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a two-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. Two-hand. Oh, I get it. Two-hand monster. Both hands on the football. Taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Call it a gain of 5. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Back to throw, Watson. This will be caught at about the 6. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the 1st down. And it'll be a turnover on downs. And defensively, they were ready for that. A full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play. That 1st down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Now let's go.
This is Clement. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger.
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. 20. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 81 yards.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that. He rifles one that's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it, and he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 4 yards on the pickup there, as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
From the gun on third, Watson. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Alexander. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside. Not easily covered, and then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the first. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rolling to his right. And avoids the contact by sliding. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
The offensive line, they're getting it done.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
From the red zone now, Watson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Reset.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now it's Watson. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball,
Get a completion.
you get a catch,
Yeah.
but still,
No yardage.
Okay.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No.
Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. There to stop him was Carlton Davis. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Looking to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, here's Watson going for the deep ball. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route, going for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. To throw on 2nd is Watson. And a throw right sideline is complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. He got 29 yards that time. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action.
Set, 3-19.
On the carry, here's Clement. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 30.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Here's Matt Hawk now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Here's Archer. He'll be hard-pressed to match that one. That a 65-yard punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Going deep for Hopkins. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 10. Now they try the right side here. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Now the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down. They're going for it. It's Watson. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long, this stage of the game. What were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation, still in the first half, decided if there was a time to be aggressive, now was it, because there's still time to make up for it if things don't go right. Of course, a lot of questions on this one. And look, I want to go for it as much as anyone.
But 4th and long?
Yeah, I don't think I would have there. That one seemed a little bit on the irrational side.
Fans might be a little angry at that one. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
Here we go now. Green.
A run, it's Clement. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
All right, here we go. Blue, landed.
They'll set up a throw. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him to find him. Find him.
And now running right through it. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened.
Offense.
They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. A good productive run there on first down. He winds up getting 8.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to about the 40. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9. And it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Watson on 3rd down. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And a nice gain of 21 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down. Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Here's Watson. Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Texans will extend their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Point after, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Malik Jackson with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
They'll run with Clement. And he'll power his way up near the 25. The all-pro safety Eric Berry in on the stop.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. 30. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 62 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning.
Now loose football. The ball comes out. And the Texans say they have it. They do. Off often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. In on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan.
Well, they had that one snipped out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, but not be deterred by anything else.
And they'll run it here. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big game.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Well, that's why the guy with the headsets is down there. All right, they know what they're doing because they got stuffed on a running play on first down. And I think myself and probably the fans were saying throw the football in this situation. But he knew what he was doing, called another run, and now they've got 3rd and short.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. They are going for it. Here's Watson. That's to his running back, complete. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They've been burned twice already on 4th down, but the 3rd time's the charm as they keep the drive moving. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Watson caught left side, Hopkins. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. Here's the correct call.
It showed some tough running, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line. They come up in an offset eye. Now a handoff working right. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. On 3rd down. It's Alexander. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. On 4th down, Watson. And no, it's incomplete. Bill O'Brien rolls the dice, but to no avail. And the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. And I am not sure, partner, there what the mindset was to go for it. I don't know.
And some teams just feel that possession is the key to everything. They just want to have the football in their hands. No matter how it goes to the other team, they just don't trust doing that. So they say, listen, go for it and try and finish it ourselves.
And they'll get him down up past the 15. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Cup. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? They go play action here on 1st down. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And over the middle, this is Parker. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage, and that's exactly what he got done there.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Steele. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get the 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence. And
that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. In for the score. And the Dolphins able to get this back within a touchdown. Point after here coming up. So they get the score still down, but bottom line is they kept themselves in the game.
They did keep hope alive, Brandon. That's exactly what they did. Now they've got to deliver and finish things off.
A little surprising they wouldn't go for 2, but this is up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. This fielded at the 2. Oh, able to avoid him. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return.
And that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go longo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, He seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Here's Watson from the gun on third down. Over the middle, that's caught by QT. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. On first down, Watson. The 20. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
To throw is Watson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. O.J. Howard with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. They found a gap there on the post pattern in the middle of the... It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. The extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And Owen coughed it up, and his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over, but that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Time for a break. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. How did he stay on his feet? And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. Now the Dolphins are going to take another timeout here as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is first and goal. They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him 4 on the carry there at second and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. The short yardage man, it's Coleman. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. A great play there with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And he'll indeed get him to the line and spike it here to stop the clock. To throw now on 2nd and 10. Throw left side complete. It's Steele. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. And 26 seconds now as the spike comes in. They're going to look to throw. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, you know you don't want to make a mistake in that area, so you make sure you make a smart throw. Throw it out towards the sidelines. If you overshoot your guy, so be it. It's just the incompletion that we saw there.
They'll drop the throw. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And it's caught by Parker. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal.